Do you hear audio? Do you hear audio? All right. It's Cybersky Live, people. That's how you know it's live. There's no audio on the video. That's okay. Right. You can hear me speaking. That's good enough. Live, we're not doing tech support. We're not doing that. We're getting right into the show. So I appreciate anyone who's listening right now. Oh, go back, refresh, hit play, whatever you got to do. All right. Shout out to my co-producer, the Miss China Arrow. She's doing some tech work behind the scenes, helping the show flow smoothly this week. I appreciate her. While you're checking out the animation, hit that like button. Hit that like button. We'll be starting the show in about 30 seconds. Oh, man, we got a lot to talk about today. But I hope that some of you brought your questions and your comments and your ideas and topics this week on Cybersky Live, Tech Talk Tuesdays. All right, boom, we'll jump that off. Cool. So yeah, it's a little animation I made. You can see that full video with the music that I produced. It's on the channel. It's called Cybersky Genesis Beat, or Cybersky Animation with Genesis Beat. Welcome to the Cybersky. Let's learn something. You know the motto. I am your host, Graham Cybersky, aka Mr. Cybersky. And this is Cybersky Live, Tech Talk Tuesdays. So let's learn something together. Now, Tech Talk Tuesdays is going to be every Tuesday around this time. And as we go along, I'm going to start adding a Health Talk Thursdays. We have a little Health Talk today. I'm going to talk about something I got in the mail. We're going to unbox it right here on the show live. That's related to health, but that's also technology. So on Tuesday, we talk tech. And I've been telling people, you know, as we discuss the Tech Talk Tuesdays, that I will come to the table with at least 5 interesting topics, things that are going on in the world of technology this week. Things that are either just interesting to learn about or very important to your life, or it could be something about finance, because we will be talking about cryptocurrency. And several things happened this week. Boy, did we go on a roller coaster ride. Those of you who are in the space and follow crypto, possibly have some cryptocurrency, some altcoins, some Bitcoin, some Ethereum. You guys know there was a crash this week. We're going to talk about that. There's a little bit of a bounce back right now, but there was a major correction. And one of the topics we'll be talking about this week is that. But first, some news from the Cybersky. This is my 33rd video. Yay! I don't have sound effects on this show. I will in the future. We're going to improve. Shout out to MCMI Report, the other podcast that you'll see me on during the week on MCMI Report YouTube channel. We usually have horns and applause and you know, different effects. But right now, it's just me and the microphone. So, but 33rd video. Now, for me, the numbers 3, 33, and 333 have always been lucky numbers. So that's an amazing milestone, I feel, for the show. Just for me personally, I started this channel a year ago, and to be up to video number 33 is mind-boggling, because I still feel brand new, and it's still a struggle each video. You may or may not have seen on Sunday, I had a video set to go. It was called MacBook USB-C RANT. And it was about some tech issues I'm having with my computer and the USB Thunderbolt ports and portable drives and things. But there was a technical glitch and something went wrong in the settings in the video on the channel. So after I couldn't get it to launch right, I just deleted the video from the channel, and now I have to re-upload it and drop it again. So I'm a little annoyed because I did this rant about a month ago. It took a long time for me to edit that video, and I finally had it ready to go. It was supposed to drop on Sunday. So that's going to drop next Sunday, so you can look forward to that. And my apologies. But I say this just to say, yes, even for Mr. Cybersky, we have tech issues. Things don't go as planned when you're using technology. It's all a learning curve, because as soon as you've mastered last year's technology, they invent something new, or they change the settings, or they do an update, and you got to learn some more stuff. So that's really the reason why we do these Tech Talk Tuesdays, to share knowledge and hopefully learn something. Now, please, if you're willing to support the channel, please hit the like button on this video, but also when I do drop that video on Sunday on the MacBook issues, and hopefully, if you ever had an issue like that, it'll help you. Like that video, throw some comments on it, and share it with friends, and let them know that we do this technology stuff here on Cybersky Videos. All right. So thank you to those who have been watching, commenting, and joining the live chats as the channel has grown this past year. When the channel hits the 50th video, we hit that milestone, which is what? 17 videos from now. When we hit that one, I'm going to do something a little special. I'm going to have a giveaway. We have some Rubik's Cube talk videos on the channel. So I had these Rubik's Cubes made up so I can give something away to my supporters and fam that come on the channel. So this is the Cybersky Videos official Rubik's Cube. And it does work. It's not just, yeah. It's a real cube. You can solve it. I played it. I mixed it up, played with it when I got it. So I'll be giving away a few of those. I'm trying to decide. I have from now until video number 50 to decide what the contest will be. Will it just be random and I just pick anyone who's ever made a comment on any video? I do sort of a random lottery with that and just send somebody a cube, or send a few people cubes? Or do I ask a question and see what your answers are and then let you win the cube in that way, by sharing some knowledge? I'm not sure yet, but stay tuned for your chance to win one of those. Now, last week I launched Tech Talk Tuesdays, and that video got about 140, 150 views so far. And I'm going to go and look at some of the comments, because I did ask people to add comments, even if you weren't in the live chat. I said, during the week, please go into the comments, and I will talk about some of the comments that people left in the next episode. And right now, if you're in the live chat with me, you can type anything you want to talk about today or ask any questions. But I'm going to look at what was left on that video. So let's take a look real quick, and I will respond to those comments. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear my key mash. I'm a very loud typer. I always get complaints in Zoom meetings. Mr. Cybersky, please mute. We can hear you typing. I don't know if you guys ever get that. But all right. So last week's video was called Apple, Fortnite, 500 million mosquitoes, Bill Maher, and crypto. That's what we discussed last week on Cybersky Live Tech Talk Tuesdays. And I'm skimming the comments. We got, I don't like that we no longer have to say, hey, Google, because it means Google can listen to anything you say. Well, my response to that is I'm pretty sure they're listening anyway. I'm sure you know that. Love the set. That was China. Thank you, China. Funk Doc Spock says, love the set. Oh, the set, the video set. I have the boombox back there. Got you. I had a boombox with cassettes, which wish I kept it now that cassettes are coming back. That was a comment from Funk Doc. I wish this was a collector's item, but this is a brand new boombox. It has Bluetooth and all the modern technology, and it has cassette as well. So, and I have a video I'm working on playing with that to show you guys soon. GMS YouTuber of the Year. Thank you. Shout out to my MCMI crew. Funny that crypto crashed right after your tech talk. Oh, the irony. Danny Dog says that. Shout out to Danny. Yes, I know. I did this whole thing saying how Bill Maher is wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I defended crypto, said crypto's here to stay, and I bragged that I've quadrupled and quintupled my money over the years by getting in on some coins in 2017, 2018, 2019, and now I've made some great gains. And I told people not to listen to him, that crypto's a great currency, and all the coins are good to have some skin in. And then right after that, the next day, crypto crashed, Bitcoin crashed, Ethereum crashed, and then that brought down everyone else. So that is ironic. I'm looking at comments because I'm live on Facebook. Someone's asking me, what time are you going on live? Right now. I'm live as you message me. All right. So, uh, so crypto. Yeah. So it did drop in value about 50%. So for example, if you had, $5,000 in Bitcoin, all of a sudden overnight you had 2,500. If you had 50,000, you had 25,000. I'm gonna have to close that Facebook window because they keep sending me messages and then the noise, picks up on the thing. So what happened? We're going to talk about that later in a video. We're also going to talk more about the artificial intelligence and the voice recognition in the Google Assistant. Something very funny happened with that. But I'm just finishing up the news from the Cybersky. So that's this week's news from the Cybersky. Oh, there is a comment in the chat asking me about the Mac Mini with the M1 chip. Okay. I see that. Yeah, the M1 chip. So if you notice, my screen is off behind me. So I got the M1 Mini with the, I'm sorry, I got the Mac Mini with the M1 chip and I installed it behind me on this computer, right, with the 49-inch 4K monitor. And I used it for like a week or two, but I didn't really test it out a lot. I just used it, turned it on, made sure it was working. And I was going to start really testing it out so I could do a proper review. My monitor died. I had this monitor for like a year and a half, but it's on a 3-year warranty. So I called Acer. I like the monitor. I'll shout them out, Acer. And they had good tech support. And they said, hey, just send it back to us. Probably one of the tubes burnt out or whatever. Because half of the screen, I think this side is off and this side is on. So if you look at last week's Tech Talk Tuesday, you'll see that the monitor has color and then it's dark on this side. It's black. Something burnt out. Tried tech support. They said, no, we'll fix it. So I've got to box it up, ship it to them. They'll fix it for free, ship it back. So hopefully by next week, I'll have my monitor back on. But I can't answer that question about the M1, except that when I turned it turned on super fast. When I opened internet browser and went to YouTube, it just click and it goes. So I noticed some heavy duty processing power in there. I did try to edit one video in Final Cut, but because I don't have a trackpad, I'm using a mouse and I'm used to pinch zooming and scrolling with the 2 fingers. I'm used to the laptop. So I tried a little bit and I got frustrated. I said, look, I'm going to order a trackpad. And my partner, LR Blitzkrieg, he had suggested I get one of those as well. Because he has one. He had the same problem when he got a big screen and he was on the desktop. So once I get the trackpad, I'll start editing video on them, and once I get the screen fixed on the Mac Mini with the M1 chip, and I'll let you know if it was powerful enough to handle that, powerful enough, or if it was lagging or giving me any spinning beach balls, right? All right, so that's the news from Cybersky. Let's get into some fascinating tech stories this week. While I'm giving you the news that I find interesting, tell me in the comments what else you want to talk about, and feel free to give any info or ask any questions, and I'll address it live. I'll look at the comments from time to time. When the show is over, leave your comments below, and I'll get to those next week. Now, last week, something awesome happened. The Hey Google story I talked about was turning on people's Google Assistant because it was hearing me say, Hey Google, in the video, just like I did right now. Hilarious. I don't know why anyone would think that wouldn't happen. It never occurred to me, but this illustrates one of the weaknesses of modern artificial intelligence and voice recognition. In its current stage of development, it can't properly distinguish between an actual voice, a recorded voice, or a television or radio broadcast, or probably even someone yelling in the apartment next door or in the street outside your window. Like turning on Google Assistant is not that big a deal, but as more things get automated, I can think of some ways that could be dangerous, even disastrous. Let's say your stove is automated. So you can be like, turn on oven or turn on stove, right? And then someone wants to cause you a problem. So they yell through your window different commands and they start turning on things in your house, right? I don't want to say what they would yell now because that might actually happen. And I got feedback last week about the Hey Google, starting people's Google Assistant. Just did it again. So if you have Google Assistant on your phone every time I said that, it pops up and says, how can I help you, right? So you got to hit cancel. So let me know if that happened to you, but maybe you don't have Google Assistant turned on. And this week, let's give it something to do. So here's an experiment. Disclaimer, this is for educational purposes, nothing malicious, but as an exploration of artificial intelligence technology and educational purposes, I'm going to say, hey, Google, play Just Jazz with Pop. I Remember You on YouTube. Hey, Google, play Just Jazz with Pop. I Remember You on YouTube. Now, I just gave it that command. Let's see if anyone's YouTube pops open and goes to that video. And while we're at it, Siri, play Just Jazz with Pop, I Remember You on YouTube. Alexa, play Just Jazz with Pop, I Remember You on YouTube. We're going to get everybody now. Bixby, Android users, Bixby, play Just Jazz with Pop, I Remember You on YouTube. All right, now let's see if we get a sudden jump in views on that video. I'm going to check the comments, see what's going on here. Let's learn something, Stairs Academy. Yes. What is the best crypto to get? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. We're going to do crypto talk last. In about 15, 20 minutes, we'll be in crypto. Came for the news, staying for the crypto talk. LOL. Yep. China says, yes, it happened to me. It did, right? Okay. So on her phone, it opened. China, did it open right now when I did it again? And did it open on your phone or your computer? Tell me in the comments. I know you could just tell me from the next room, but put it in the comments so everyone else can know as well. Now let's see if we get, views on that video. If any of this worked, please let me know in the comments. It should work even if you're watching this later and not live with us today. So if you're playing this video and it opened on your phone or opened, Google Assistant, let me know. Now, my second thing I wanted to talk about today is a new technology that's being developed by Apple. Now, I don't know if you're an Apple user or not, but even people that I know that have iPhones, they tend to use Google Maps because Google Maps has just mastered that app. I mean, Google, they got there, I don't know if they got there first or if MapQuest was first, but they clearly became the leader in the industry on the navigation and the maps and directions. Now Apple has always had Apple Maps, but they're going to do an upgrade soon, and they call it futuristic navigation. And what that is they're going to have 3D animated maps. So instead of just looking like you're staring from on top, it's going to look more like a first-person 3D animated video game. Those games that you see people playing, or some of you play, where the characters look real, like it's a movie and you're walking through the landscape and you're picking things up and you're fighting people, sometimes shooting. They're going to use that kind of animation, supposedly, on their new Apple Maps. And I think they're hoping that it's a better look. Like, people don't just want to see an arrow saying turn left and an estimate of like 30 feet or something. They want to like navigate like it looks like you're turning a corner and it looks like you're in a real world. So that should be interesting. And my question is, should Google Maps be worried? I shout out to Lou Later from Unbox Therapy. He said in a recent video that I watched on this that he uses Google Maps even though he has an iPhone, that it's indispensable. He can't live without Google Maps. And I'm going to tell you my opinion on that. But that the new Apple Maps 3D rendering, looks promising. So I wonder, will he switch? Will he like it better? I'm sure he's going to do a review. I'll probably do a review. But I have a Samsung, so I'm not going to be using the Apple Maps unless they somehow offer it to non-iPhone users, which I doubt. It'll be within their Apple ecosystem, right? So I'm still going to be using Google Maps, but I wonder if Apple users who use Google Maps now will be like, oh, this is better, and we have this on our iPhones, and then take some of the market share, a certain percent from Apple. So the next gen navigation is rendering the maps world in a way that is as realistic as the first person games. Of course, I'm sure Google is working on the same thing, but Apple probably just beat them to it. But keep in mind, people, that an Apple car is coming out. And I think I'm going to talk all about the Apple car next week, because I didn't finish my research and I want to give you a lot of information. But Apple's going to put out the Apple car. Will it be called the iCar, the Apple car? I don't know. But they're putting out a whole car. I'm sure it'll have its own navigation computer in there. And maybe they'll launch, the Apple, advanced Apple navigation animation with the car. I don't know. But, not to mention the competition that Maps and Apple Maps, Google Maps and Apple Maps get from WAZE. So if you're in the chat, let me know, do you prefer WAZE, Google Maps, or a different map program? Or do you have your own actual GPS and you don't go online and use those apps? Let me know what you use in the comments or in the live chat. For me, I have been using Google Maps for years, and recently I started to get frustrated with it. I kind of switched over to WAZE. See, the problems I've been having with Google Maps, and maybe it's because I have a Note 9, but it's up to date on updates, but it's not the 10 or any newer phone. But Google Maps on the 9 has recently, a couple times, this happened to me several times in the last 3 or 4 months, it stops working. Like, you put in the address, and then it's supposed to find where you are and find that address. And then you have to either click start or drive or directions, and then it goes to the next thing, and you're in your navigation. It doesn't give you anything to press. You can't press directions. You can't press drive or start. So you're like, okay, I need you to start now, and you can't get it to go. So I back out. I put in the address. It asks where you're coming from. I put your location. I check to see if my location is on the phone. It is, and it just doesn't start. So then what I've done before to fix that is restart the phone. Sometimes that works, and then it starts when I enter it all again. And the last time when I went on a trip this weekend, we drove upstate, I actually uninstalled Google Maps, removed it, went to the Play Store, searched for it, clicked on it, re-downloaded it, installed it, opened it again, and then it worked. So I realized when I did that this weekend, this is like the third time I've done that. Every so often when I go to use it, I keep having to uninstall and reinstall. So, I started using WAZE. And then I realized that WAZE is actually a little bit better than Google Maps. It doesn't do everything better than Google Maps, but what WAZE does, those who use it know, it tells you if there's obstructions, if there's a roadkill, if there's a car that's stopped in the road, if there's construction, if there's police up ahead, if there's like a hidden cop car waiting for speeders. It tells you these things if there's an accident so that you know in advance. Now, Google tells you when there's accidents pretty well too. But that makes your drive safer, especially knowing that there's police, because it's not that you're trying to speed and get away with it. Oh, I know when the police aren't looking and now I'll speed. That's not the effect it has on me. What happens to me is when I don't have that constant reminder that there's police out here checking, I stop looking at my speedometer and I'm just kind of going the speed of all the other cars. And if no one's around for a while and there's a downhill, I start increasing. And then before you know it, I'm 10, 15 miles over the limit and I haven't looked in a while. And then I look and go, oh, I'm going too fast. And I slow down. With the WAZE app, because it keeps saying in 1 mile, police ahead, right? It's reminding me to keep an eye on my speed. So it's just a friendly reminder. So I tend to stay under the speed limit better with the WAZE app, okay? And the problem that I have with it is Google Maps does some things that I can't get WAZE to do. And here's where I'm going to ask a question to the listeners. If I'm wrong, maybe I'm not using it correctly, but when I'm on WAZE and I'm already in navigation mode and we're driving, and I want to search for gas or a restaurant or a rest stop, I don't see a way to tell it to search for it. Now, I can put in another destination. If I type gas, it'll list me 6 gas stations. Here's some gas stations near you, and I have to press on one of them. But it's not showing me where they are in relation to me on the map, right? I just see a list, and I have to just pick one, and then it'll make a detour and take me to that gas station. What I like about Google Maps is it shows you on the map while you're driving, here's your car, and it shows you gas, or restaurant. And you can kind of see what's coming. And as you drive, it keeps refreshing and showing you more. And then you can decide, okay, I want that one, and click it and set the destination. So since WAZE doesn't seem to do that in the way that's, I guess, user-friendly to me, what we've been doing is I use Waves for my main navigation, and it tells me if there's a obstruction or a stopped car or whatever. And then my wife has Google Maps open on the other phone, or if she's driving, I have it. And so when we want to search for something, we just use the maps for that. So we have two devices. I wish that Waze would do that better, and then I won't have to run two things at once. If I'm wrong and there's a way to do that, but I don't understand it, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live chat. That. And also, let me know what you guys think. Which do you use for navigation? Which one is better? To use maps, to use Waze, and do any of you already use Apple Maps if you're an iPhone user? And let me know what you like or don't like about that. All right. Shout out some people in the chat. Yeah. What do those pig faces that pop up mean is a question. Pig faces appear on the Waze map sometimes. I thought that meant the cops are hiding on that route, calling cops pigs. But then other times, yeah, I know what you're saying. So I don't know if they're pigs or they're pink, happy faces, but these other faces pop up. And yeah, I used to think those were cops too. But then when it is police, it shows a little police officer face, like a person with a uniform hat on. So then what are those other circles? I don't have the answer, so I'm going to put that to our listeners. Please go up in the chat or go in the comments and let us know what those other circles mean. I used to think they meant other drivers on the road, but they don't stay with you. Like, you pass those circles and they're in the rear. You didn't pass any cars. So it couldn't have been people driving because they're still parallel with me, right? Good question. Something I'm curious about too. Now, I found something that could be interesting or concerning, depending on which way you look at it, about TikTok. And I'm going to bring it up here because I've had a few, chat conversations with some of my friends. Some of them are on TikTok. They make videos. Some of them aren't on it, but they just go and watch some stuff. And some of them boycott TikTok. They're like, I'll never use TikTok. TikTok is a horrible company. They're violating all these privacy norms, that they're selling data. And originally the Chinese government was able to take data from the company that was based in China and use it the way they want to. And they were trying to explain to me, and it did sound nefarious. I just did say, yeah, that does sound bad. And I remember Donald Trump wanted to ban TikTok, and he was like, we're going to kick TikTok out. American users can't use it. And then he kind of stopped saying that after a while. And then the presidency changed, and then nobody's really saying anything. And TikTok is just going on, thriving. So I did a little research, and I did find that TikTok had done something where they sold the international rights or portion of the company. And now that is based in another country that's outside of China's control. And that company is servicing the United States users. So, and some other countries too. And so what they're saying is, don't worry, the Chinese government has no authority over this part of the company, so they can't request our data or steal the data or do anything crazy with it. I don't know how much that's true or how much they're just saying that to get the heat off of them for those issues. But some new controversy. And also, some people just don't like the negative content posted by users. And they say, like, TikTok is trash. People are posting, negativity and dumb stuff, and it's lowering people's intelligence to watch the things that TikTok posts. To that, I say, so is YouTube, so is Instagram. But apparently, TikTok is more of that negative content. And so a lot of people just don't like it. I wish that I like TikTok. I've used it a little bit. We do have a TikTok presence if you want to follow us. It's just Cybersky videos, same thing. But I wish that the app would conform to international acceptable data use and privacy, policies and norms. But check out this new development. So this week, just a couple days ago, the founder of TikTok, who's also the owner of ByteDance, the company that made TikTok and some other apps, he stepped down as CEO voluntarily. Like, he wasn't removed or fired unless they hit him on the side and was like, hey, you got to step down. But they asked him his reason, because they're like, uh-oh, why are you quitting? everything in TikTok looks like it's going fine. They're making billions of dollars. Is something bad about to happen? Are you jumping ship, you know? So he gave his reason. He said this, and I'm quoting. He said that he lacks some of the skills that make an ideal manager. And then he listed what those things are. He's not a people person. He can't inspire, blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, they're going to replace him with someone, obviously, who has those qualities that he claims he doesn't have. But still, the company ByteDance, which he's stepping down from, is considered the world's most valuable startup. I don't know why it's still a startup. It's been around for a couple of years already, but the app's doing well. And, you know, TikTok is huge. So you did something right. The founder, who was CEO all this time, like, he rose TikTok to like a #1 social media company. It's not #1, but it's a $1 billion company, and it's up there, right? So the company is not declining recently, so therefore, why do they need new leadership? Could he be bailing? Could he be jumping ship before something big comes out that damages the company? You know, to me, those are the two possibilities. What do you guys think? Either he's quitting in his prime, like Jordan in '93, or Jay-Z with his short-lived, you know, fade to black era. Quit while the company is up. You know, you have nothing more to prove. You led the company to this immense fortune, and, you know, any decline in the future now will be on someone else's watch. You know, you quit while you're ahead. If it does go well with the next guy, you still get credit for being the founder and getting it up to this point, you know. And then if it falls off, you don't get the blame because someone else took over and now it's the next guy's fault, right? If so, that's a boss move. But it also could be that he sees something coming. That's the second possibility. He realizes that the criticisms on some of the content, maybe some behind the scenes business moves that we don't know about, the deal with the Chinese government and other issues about data use and privacy, maybe they're doing some stuff considered unethical, illegal. You know, maybe there's something that we don't know about that not only could hurt the company, but that could land the CEO in prison. So maybe he's getting out because he feels that all the harmful stuff of what he's created, like his Frankenstein's monster, you know, outweighs the good that he thought it was going to bring the world when he created it. He doesn't want the hate, the blame, or the legal consequences that comes with that. So better to just take his money, cash out, and run, you know? So what's your opinion? Is this a boss move, just moving on because there's no room for growth? Quit while you're ahead, or is it something more sinister coming down the pipe? Signs of a problem bubbling behind the scenes that's going to blow up in TikTok's face in the near future. Also, do you use TikTok? Let me know in the comments. Do you love it? Do you hate it? What don't I know about TikTok that would make me close our Cybersky videos account and leave the platform? If I hear a convincing argument, maybe I'll turn that off. But right now, there's like 9 or 10 videos on there. I haven't really paid enough attention to the account, put up content as regularly. But I'm planning to, once I get some new interns in to help me with the editing of videos, of assigning someone to do the TikTok content. But let me know if there's a reason why I really shouldn't. I need to learn more about TikTok. I'm a beginner. So everything we talk about on Tech Talk Tuesdays is not going to be me, an expert, telling you guys everything. You know, we're here to learn together. So I need the people who really study this, who are anti-TikTok activists or who know the platform better than me, to let me know the pros and the cons, and should I stick with it? Are things okay now, or should I leave TikTok? All right. In the meantime, if you do use TikTok, follow us there at Cybersky Videos. Take a look at the comments a little quick. Okay, nothing new. So we're going to keep going. Shout out to everyone. Azanya, hey, shout out. Thankfully, it hasn't worked yet. Oh, hey Google. Azanya said it didn't open his. All right. So let me go to my next topic. We're going to end off with like the crypto talk again this week. I'm going to save that for last because that's the most requested stuff. So I got to keep people on to the end. I can't do crypto talk in the first 10 minutes and then people are like, cool, and then they log off. But right now we're going to get into it. So there have been a lot of major developments since last Tuesday. I can't believe so much has happened in a mere 7 days. And if you have some news that I don't talk about, throw it in the comments. But first off, right after I raved about crypto's usefulness and how great it is last Tuesday, there was a massive correction. Some call it a crash. Correction is when a stock or an investment. It could be real estate, it could be stocks, it can be cryptocurrency. It's going up, it's going up. It seems inflated. It seems so high, like, whoa, it can't be that valuable. Just people are on a rush of buying it right now. It's a fad, it's a craze. And so a correction happens when people realize, oh, if I sell right now, I could pull some profit out. I've doubled my money. Let me pull 1/3 of my money out. Now I'm still ahead. I've got some skin in the game and I took some profit in case it goes down. When a bunch of people start doing that, it goes down to the extent that the value has been created by people buying it as an asset. However, there's some value not given to crypto for being an asset, but for having technology behind it. And today we're going to discuss that aspect. But let me tell you about the Bitcoin dropping. And I have some theories as to why that happened and what's going to happen next. And it actually has been bouncing back already. It's been on a rise again. But let me get into this slowly because a lot of people, it's their first few times starting to learn about crypto. So basically, crypto got to a really high price. It was 58, 60, and it hovered around there in the 50s for a while. And then some things happened and it dropped to like 24,000. So more than half. And then it raised back up a little. I think we're in the 30s now. It might be, I could go do a search right now because it changes so often. So I'm going to put Bitcoin. This is what you do if you want to know price. Type it in Google. It's $37,780 per one coin. That's in United States dollars, USD, right now. If I check that again 10 minutes from now, it's going to be slightly different. It goes up and down constantly, right? But it dropped in half, and then Ethereum dropped in half with it, and Dogecoin dropped in half, and all the other altcoins started following because a lot of the coins, the altcoins, when people don't have confidence in Bitcoin, that's the first one ever, and that's the biggest name brand. So when people start selling that or people fear that that's crashing, then the others crash as well. As well as when Ethereum goes down, there are several altcoins that are connected, tied to Ethereum, built on Ethereum's platform. So when Ethereum's not doing well, that scares people into thinking those coins are going to start to fail as well. So all of it has that effect. So that's what happened about a week ago. Now, here's some of the reasons. There are many reasons, of course, just like when a stock goes down, there's a lot of things, some things with the company, some things with news that came out, right? But here's two important factors that influenced that drop, okay? Here's two or three. One is that China, who has cracked down on crypto before, they came out with more regulations limiting the use of Bitcoin as currency in China. So they've had times when they said you're not allowed to mine Bitcoin. So all the miners got stopped and they couldn't do mining in China. Now they came out and said the companies are not allowed to accept Bitcoin if they're Chinese companies. So if it's a currency, it relies on people using it as money, not just buying it, holding it, hoping the price will go up and then selling it. That's people using it like stocks. So crypto is unique in that it has qualities of an investment asset like stocks or real estate, but it also is a currency and it has those qualities as well. And it's difficult to regulate it. Like governments are trying to regulate it. They're regulating the exchanges, what they're allowed to do or not to do because they're companies. It's still decentralized, but it's a challenge because do you consider it like the dollar? It's the money, then you put those regulations on it, or do you consider it an asset like a stock you invest in, right? And they've been treated in both ways, like by the IRS, for instance, it's different regulations, and you got to do research if you get into the game. But when China basically came out and said, like, we're not allowing this to be used as currency, that's a lot of places that used to be able to take it, and now they don't anymore. So that's going to drop the use of Bitcoin, which will lower its value, as well as make people lose confidence in it. Oh no, what if other countries start coming out? So every time some countries say, we now celebrate, Bitcoin, like different states in the United States have invested in Bitcoin. Different companies have said, we now accept Bitcoin. Etsy, you can buy things on Etsy from Bitcoin. So every time that happens, Bitcoin value goes up. Every time someone says you can't use it, it goes down. So that's number one. And then some more things happened. Let me see. The second influence. Actually, I'm going to reference this article, and I'll even share the screen. So let me go to my StreamYard. Let's look at this article together that kind of says more clearly what is going on with China. And then I'm going to tell you about Elon Musk and what he did to, let's see, boom. What he did, which first elevated the price of crypto, and then he said something that crashed it, and now he said something again that's making it go back up again. It's complex. Let's see if I can do this screen share, make it a little bigger. Hope you guys can see that. I'm really tiny on the side. All right. So in fact, let's full screen it. So China bans financial payment institutions from cryptocurrency business. So what does that mean? China has banned, let me go to the article, institutions from cryptocurrency from providing services related to crypto transactions, and warned investors against speculative crypto trading. So when a country with millions of people, possibly billion, right, or more than a billion, somebody put down the exact number. So 1.2 billion, is it 2 billion? If they warn investors against crypto trading, that's going to make a lot of people get rid of their crypto, and it's going to crash it, right? It was China's. So this is not Bitcoin. I said Bitcoin earlier because they did talk about Bitcoin specifically in a previous ban. So now they're talking about any services. If you provide any services, if you say people can, create an account and store their coins, trade their coins, use their coins for purchases, do lending and borrowing, staking, things like that, all that is banned. Under the ban, banks and online payment channels must not offer clients any service involving cryptocurrency, such as registration, trading, clearing, settlement. 3 industry bodies said in a joint statement. All right. So, of course, this ban, had this horrible effect on crypto. Now, there's something else that had a bad effect. And I'm going to try to break this down in a chronological order in which it happened. Elon Musk. First, he went on Saturday Night Live, and he did pretty good for a celebrity who's not a comedian. He was entertaining. I watched it. A lot of people gave him good reviews just for being funny and personable, right? A lot of people didn't like him. They feel like he was privileged, grew up, parents had money, sent him to good schools, became a programmer at a young age, founded a billion-dollar company, PayPal, another company. So people are predisposed to not like him because billionaires are not in style right now, right? A lot of billionaires are out of touch and make these, asinine moves, that make them look greedy and stingy and bad for the environment, and they don't care about workers and stuff. But people liked his Saturday Night Live appearance. And in that appearance, he made fun of Dogecoin, admitting that it's a hustle and a joke, not worth anything. 1 week after Bill Maher trashed Dogecoin and all crypto on Real Time's new rules, that was April 30th, right? So April 30th, Bill Maher was against crypto, and then a week later, or 2 weeks later, May 8th, Saturday Night Live, right? We'll put the calendar up in a second, but basically you got Bill Maher coming out against crypto. Then you got Elon saying, hey, it's kind of a joke, even though he has 2.5 billion in crypto, and I'll explain how he got that. So some people felt he was just being funny. He's still pro cryptocurrency. But when he was asked by the other comedian in the skit, he was like, so what is Dogecoin? He kept telling all the science, the mathematical explanations of what Dogecoin is. And then finally he was like, so it's a hustle. He's like, yeah, pretty much it's a hustle. So it's not worth anything. Yeah, you're right. And so that made people think that because Dogecoin is a joke and a hustle, it is. It's totally a speculative, vehicle that has no real value, except people decide to buy it. And but that doesn't mean crypto doesn't. Lots of coins have intrinsic value and use and function. And I'm going to explain that today in detail. We're going to really deep dive into this in the next 10 minutes after I explain what crashed crypto this week. So Musk made a joke, and then May 13th, he made an announcement that Tesla would no longer accept Bitcoin to purchase its vehicles, citing concerns about the environment, the environmental impact of mining cryptocurrency. Now that announcement came a little more than 3 months after Tesla first announced it would begin accepting Bitcoin as payment. So 3 months earlier, he tweeted about Dogecoin. Dogecoin went to the moon. He was for it. He bought a bunch of coin. He invested 1.5 billion of Tesla's money into crypto. And then he announced that Tesla would start accepting Bitcoin as payment. You could buy a Tesla with your Bitcoin. That made crypto go way up 3 months earlier. All right. So now he's saying they changed their mind because of environmental concerns. They're not going to accept it until the miners of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Dogecoin and others. But I think he's focusing on Bitcoin first because he figures they're the industry leader, and then they'll influence everyone else until they go totally green and only use renewable energy for their electricity to run their computers. So until then, he's not accepting, crypto for the cars. This shows how volatile the world of crypto is and why you can't just throw your money into it and think it's an investment. You can time the market and you can wait. Oh, it's dipping low. Buy the dip. Oh, when it goes high, I'm going to be a millionaire. It doesn't work like that. If you do get into crypto, recognize that if you time the market and you trade and you buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high, recognize two problems with that. I'm not saying it doesn't work and you can't make money. You can. But here's the thing. You are just gambling, because any day you can wake up and what's been on an upward trend making you lots of money, someone makes an announcement, some celebrity tweets, some country bans something, and you've lost, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars or billions in the case of Elon Musk and billionaire traders, right? So it is gambling if you play it like that. Now, there is a way to invest that's more sensible, but there is no way that's 100% risk-free. If you play the stocks, if you buy real estate, you know that to try to buy a house and flip it and sell it within 90 days and improve it and not pay taxes on your capital gains and then invest in another property, that's the same. Doing that is the same as trying to trade crypto. Buy it when it's low, sell it when it's high, buy another crypto that's low. It's volatile and dangerous. It takes extreme skill. You got to watch the computer all day and you got to read all the white papers. And you're likely not to do it well unless you're really immersed in it like that. The safer way is to buy a property in real estate, hold it for 10 or 20 years, 30 years. Keep that house, live in it, or use it as a vacation home, or buy it and hold it and rent it out, or whatever your strategy is. Not expecting to sell it and get your money back anytime soon. So now if there's a crash, that's okay. It'll crash. It'll slowly climb up. 20, 30 years from now, hopefully the crash doesn't happen right before you want to sell. Then you can sell at a much higher price. Same thing with stocks. You hold it for a long time with that company. You don't try to buy a stock, sell it a few weeks later. Now, if you want to immerse yourself into it, get these computer programs that analyze everything, the stock market, buy and sell. I know one or two people who do that, and they've been successful. But there's days when they come and tell me that, hey, I lost $20,000 this morning. I lost 50 grand in 1 hour because of a stock correction. You have to have the money to do that, and you have to be about it. You can't have a day job and on the weekends, hey, what's the stocks doing? Oh, buy some more Apple. You can do that, but you can't buy and sell and be successful at that. You have to dedicate your life and your time to that if you're going to trade. So it's the same thing with crypto. And when you go into crypto, you have to risk money that you have to risk. You have to say, here's some extra money I've been stashing. I can pay all my bills. I've got my pension coming. I've got my health care taken care of. I've got insurance. I have savings in case of a medical emergency. In case I lose my job, I can make it a few months and, find another source of income. You have all that. And then you've got some extra money on top of that. And you say, I don't care if I lose this money. I'm going to experiment with this small percentage of money of my total income. And they can put that into crypto. So that's my advice for those who are about to get in. They're like watching all these videos. I want to know more. I want to know more. I want to get on the bandwagon. That's how you should do it. And based on your income and your bills and your expenses, that amount may be $100, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, right? Whatever that is relative to the total money you have, your other investments, your safety net money, what you can afford to lose half of, or to have one of these crashes. And you won't be like, oh no, I lost half of my money. Now I'm in trouble. I can't pay my rent. So that's my advice for investing into crypto. Now, if you want a deeper education on crypto, hit the like and subscribe button and leave me a comment, more crypto. Just comment more crypto. And I'll start really breaking it all the way down in a way that you can understand, because I watch a lot of channels that are financial advice channels. They use all the jargon, and if you just go to some of those channels, they're too advanced for a beginner to get in. They're throwing all the technical terms around, and they're showing charts, and they're logging into their app, and they're saying, look at the dip here, and they're talking all the percents and exchanges. And it can be really overwhelming and confusing, just like if you pick up the Wall Street Journal or read the Financial Times, or read an article, even a blog about crypto. Sometimes it can go over your head when you're new. I remember how I felt in 2017. I'd been reading these articles from 2015. In 2017, I made the plunge. And what I knew then, I would be really confused watching that. But now I've digested it. I feel a little more comfortable with what's going on in the world of crypto. So I watch 20 of these videos. I read 20 of these articles. I listen to the news. And then I'll make some videos, and I'll use really simple layman's terms, and I'll just give you the real deal. Look, the bottom line, you don't need to listen to all that for half an hour. Here's what they're saying in 3 sentences. Here's what it means. Here's my advice. Put more crypto in the comments if you want me to do that. After all, Cybersky Videos is an educational channel. We could all learn some new things. So to backtrack, first, Bill Maher crashes crypto on April 30th with his new rules, dissing it. He said something about Bugs Bunny money or something. Elon Musk makes fun of Dogecoin on May 9th. Then he announces he won't, that's on Saturday Night Live. Then he announces he won't accept Bitcoin for Tesla anymore on May 13th due to the exact environmental issues that Bill Maher was bringing light to. And then right after that, news of China tightening its ban on the use of crypto hit May 18th. So April 30th to May 18th, all this bad news, bad news, bad news. At that point, Bitcoin and then Ethereum and then practically every other coin took a tumble. Although interestingly enough, a few smaller altcoins went up, which is great because I own those coins. Now, it's important to note that although Elon Musk made those announcements in the form of tweets, we won't be accepting until they get the environmental concerns right. He had originally put 1.5 billion of money from Tesla into crypto. So he's basically risking the Tesla stock going down, because if crypto would have crashed and he would wipe out that 1.5 billion, that's 1.5 billion of Tesla's money. Then their company would be in debt, would be in trouble. Then their stock would go down. So that's how much confidence he had in crypto. So he put 1.5 billion. And in a very short time, that quickly increased by 1 billion. So his current net worth of crypto is 2.5 billion, and he has not cashed out or divested any of his 2.5 billion in crypto. Okay. Now, I talked about Elon Musk and other celebrities' manipulation of markets by using their influence on social media to make coins go up and down in my Cybersky rant called "Internet is the New Democracy." I predicted things like this happening more and more months ago. As soon as he tweeted Dogecoin, and he didn't get in trouble, he didn't get like fined or any charges for manipulation, because that's illegal. You can't go talk about stocks because you have an influence and try to make the stocks go up because you're a big celebrity, telling everyone how great it is and to buy it, and then later say something bad and make it crash, and then make it and buy it while it's low and make it go up again. That's kind of insider. It's not insider trading, but you're just not allowed to do that. And that's why the Reddit group Wall Street Bets was taken to those Senate hearings to see if they could be charged something, because they felt that they were doing that by commenting in the Reddit group about GameStop and making that stock go up, right? And then using that to their advantage. So that's what all those hearings were about. So Elon didn't get in any trouble so far. I don't know if he's got any hearings coming up. But as soon as I saw him doing that, as this is going to happen now other tech leaders and celebrities are going to come out and start doing this as well. They're going to buy some coins, then they're going to tweet about it, how great it is. Then everyone's going to rush out and buy it. Those coins are going to go up, and they're going to make millions or billions of dollars, right? So go check out that that Cybersky rant. It's called "Internet is the New Democracy." Please go watch that right after this tech talk. We're almost done for this week. Let's see if there's any questions, things going on in the chat. All right. Need to know more about crypto. Okay, more crypto. Okay. Health is wealth. Oh, cool. Hey, before you do that, here's another incredible update which spells good news for crypto. And it means that it's going to go back up. And it actually has been the last few days going back up. So it is now a good time to buy. It's not at the bottom, the dip, but it went way down and then it started to go up a little bit. So it's going to start going up, and it's going to take a while. And it's still pretty low, even though it's not as low as when it hit the bottom, but it's in the bounce. Like it went down and it bounced up a little. It didn't go all the way up again. So it is a good time to buy, but please note, I am not a financial advisor. And this podcast, this show that we're doing, Cybersky Live, is for entertainment purposes only and educational purposes. I want you to know and understand more about these things. And the best way to do that is have these conversations. And then you start feeling comfortable. A shout out to my friend Anwar Hathshire. He always says comfortable, whatever you're comfortable. He's part West Indian background, and he says comfortable, meaning if you're going to buy a house, you might not feel comfortable with a large mortgage, so you might want to put more down payment, or your price range might not be comfortable, or whatever it is. So same thing with any financial stuff. You need to get your comfort zone to where you feel not nervous, like I'm going to invest. As soon as I buy something, it's going to drop and I'm going to lose money. But then if I don't buy anything, tomorrow they're going to be like, oh, Bitcoin went to the moon. If you bought it 2 weeks ago, you're a millionaire, and I missed out. So that's the purpose of the channel, but I'm not a financial advisor. Now, here's one thing that's making Bitcoin go back up, specifically Bitcoin now. Crypto is all cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is the first one, the name brand that started it all. Ethereum is the first altcoin, and then other coins, altcoins, thousands of them came after that. So Elon Musk has now said he's speaking with Bitcoin miners about renewable energy. So he's negotiating with them. How can I help you get your electricity from sources other than coal, which is what Bill Maher and other critics are complaining about. And I said last week in the Tech Talk Tuesday that I've heard that Bitcoin gets 70% of its electricity for mining from clean energy, things like hydro power, solar power, wind power. But it gets about 30% from coal still, because some countries just have still using burning coal to make electricity. So he's working with Bitcoin miners to get off of the coal electricity. So if he solves that problem, and this is a genius who loves to solve problems, right? SpaceX, Tesla, the Boring Company, he created PayPal, right? If he can get them to solve that and somehow shift and move, and then any critics and people worried about the environmental concerns, that gets negated. Now all Bitcoin is being mined on green energy. Everyone would jump in more wholeheartedly because they don't feel that they're doing something that's going to, keep dirty energy going in the world. They'll actually be promoting clean energy because, as Bill Maher said, crypto uses so much energy. It'll be a big customer of electricity from companies that use solar, that use hydropower, the waves to create the electricity, and that use wind power, windmills, right? So that's making crypto go up a little, just because it means he's not writing off crypto. He's saying, I'm going to not accept it for Teslas right now. And we're good, because I don't want people to say they bought an electric car to help the environment, and then part of Tesla is accepting these coins, which are mined by burning coal to get the electricity to run their computers, right? So it means that they're going to solve that problem. And as they do, the value of Bitcoin is going to go up. So that's making Bitcoin go up. It had dropped to 24,000. Now it's up to 37,000. Let's see the current price. Let me refresh to see if the price has changed in the last 5 minutes. It went up $200. It's $37,976 now. Okay. And my prediction is it's going to slowly climb. It's not going to go shoom 60,000, but In a week from now, it'll be closer to 40, and that's going to still go up. And that's what it did the first time, right? So, Bill Maher alluded to this, on his show. But last week when I dissed Bill Maher, and believe me, I'm going to be dropping a full show just about Bill Maher's crypto talk, because that really got under my skin, Bill. You said a lot of wrong things. But, I said how crypto only pollutes a little bit because 30% comes from coal, 70% from renewable energy. Well, Elon Musk may get it where Bitcoin will be 100%. And if one of the currencies and the top name brand currency, Bitcoin, goes all green, it's going to be a challenge now. Okay, Ethereum, now you're not gaining. Right now they're calling Ethereum, they're saying it's going to bypass Bitcoin. And then they got these other things like Cardano, Polkadot. They're saying those are the Ethereum killers. They're going to be better than Ethereum. Okay, you won't if you're still partially on coal and Bitcoin is all green. You see how that's going to work? So then they're going to have to change, and it'll trickle down, and everyone will update their energy sources. Okay. This will also support all those companies that sell the clean energy. So this is going to be a win-win for everybody. This will be a way, for cryptocurrency to go greener. So, let's watch Elon Musk's Twitter, because a tweet from Tesla, which he now uses, usually, he tweets his communications off. He doesn't even do press releases. It's kind of nice. Who needs a press conference or a whole article? Just give us one sentence. Just tweet and let us know what we need to do. It indicates he's taking steps to encourage renewable energy use by Bitcoin miners. Now, that's just Bitcoin, but it's going to trickle down. This is great news in this announcement that he made, and it's already made most coins start to climb up. So when I logged into my exchanges that hold my coins, and I have, over 20 different coins, they were all in the green, went up 20%, went up 13%. They all were going up in the last day or two since he made that announcement. But, more importantly than just my crypto went up, or if you guys are in crypto, yay, he made an announcement, our money will go up. More importantly than that, Tesla's pressure on Bitcoin will actually push the industry to get to 100% sustainable renewable energy, in the mining process. It'll get there quicker. So this is a win-win for the environment, because think about it. How can you spend any currency if the polar caps melt and the sky is falling? Okay. You can't spend it if the earth explodes, right? So before I go this week, I want to admit that I was wrong about something and make a correction. Yeah, celebrities are doing NFTs. Good point. Sheena says in the comments. NFTs are built on the Ethereum platform. Not all of them, but most of them. And so when Ethereum does well, NFTs do better. We'll get into that next week. Too much for one show. But yeah, celebrities are already doing NFTs and buying them as collections from artists, and also creating their own. So that's going to make, when NFTs do well, that's going to make all crypto go up as well. But I want to tell you about what I got wrong last week. In the last Tech Talk Tuesday, right? You guys can go watch that one if you missed it. I mentioned in passing, I said there were about 1,500 altcoins, right? Besides Bitcoin. Well, people were quick to point out that there's way more coins than that. My numbers were off. So I did some research. I was okay, yeah, they do add new coins. Let me see what they're up to. No matter when I did my search, if I did it a few hours later, the number had gone up. People are creating new coins every few hours. It's incredible. That's how fast new coins are coming on the scene. So it's tough to get an accurate number to talk about, but I'm going to give you dates and what we're up to update what I said last week. As of January 2021, 4 months ago, right? There were 4,000 cryptocurrencies in existence. One of them being Bitcoin, and all the rest are altcoins. So there was 4,000 altcoins in January. 2 months later, in March, altcoins accounted for 40% of the total cryptocurrency market, the other 60% being people owning Bitcoin. And at that point in March, there were more than 9,000 new, altcoins. So 5,000 more coins came onto the scene in 2 mere months. So now it's May. I can't find a more recent count, but you can imagine how it's increased since then. Probably at least another several thousand. Some of the main types of altcoins include mining-based cryptocurrencies, stable coins. This vocabulary, I want you to get comfortable hearing these things. What's a stable coin? I already heard of altcoins, right? Security tokens, utility tokens. But basically, altcoins in general just means alternative coins to Bitcoin, the original. So when someone says altcoins, you're like, oh, I thought it was called cryptocurrency. Well, what's the altcoins? It's Ethereum and all of them, Dogecoin, all of them that aren't Bitcoin. All right. I want to give you some value, with this tech talk. I want to give you some knowledge. So we're going to end this week Cybersky Live Tech Talk Tuesdays with a little more information on cryptocurrency, which will hopefully help you understand a little of what I meant when I refuted Bill Maher's claims that all cryptocurrency is valueless, useless, worth zero, he said, and it's Easter Bunny cartoon cash. All right, that's what he said. And it was funny. Audience laughed. Got a good reaction, but he said because it's not backed by anything. It's backed by nothing and doesn't do anything. That's not true. Now, many altcoins are like what he said. Right? We call them crap coins. They're really not worth valued anything. But as long as people buy them, they'll go up. So the people who like to buy a coin, ride it out for like a few days, then sell it because it increased a certain amount. I just make a quick transaction. Those people like those altcoins. But if you really want to buy a coin and hold it and be like, wow, people who bought in 2017, they're 5 times their money now because they didn't touch it. It went up, it went down, it crashed, it came back up. But over the long haul, it's up 5 times the amount. Someone who put $1,000, bought $1,000 of Bitcoin and Ethereum, now they've got 5 times that. They got up to 5,000 in 4 years. That's a good investment compared to interest on mutual funds and real estate and other types of things. Those coins that do well and are stable and go up and increase in value, it's because they're not coins that do nothing. And today, right now, I'm going to spend about 5 minutes explaining what those companies do that gives the coins its value. This is a major hurdle in your understanding of crypto and whether or not you want to get involved. Okay. So many altcoins do things and are used for things besides investing or being a currency. Yes, you can trade them and buy stuff with them. But besides that, they are based on technology that's used by businesses, by million-dollar companies to do business with each other, to make transactions, to create and enforce contracts, to provide cybersecurity, to power apps which are developed, which have various functions that help those companies get work done and make money, to create NFTs, for example, to buy and sell NFTs. To what's some other things that they do? Let's look at a few. So to illustrate, I'm going to talk about 7 specific altcoins, starting with Ethereum, which one website that I did some research on, I looked up, it's called investorplace.com. They were like, these are the top 7 altcoins for 2021. And I like that they list what each crypto does, each coin does, what a company does, what's their technology, how are they giving value to the world? What are they offering besides that it's a coin you could trade, right? So I'm going to tell you in a sentence or two what each one does. I'll throw it up on the screen. Let's see. Do a quick screen share. I like to give my sources. So you got, whoops, move add to stream. Is that, nope, that's the other one. Get out of here. We'll share. Oh, I have to remove this. How do I remove it? Do I delete it? Got it. Okay. Share screen. 7 altcoins that should live long after the crypto bubble bursts. That's the name of this article. So you guys can check it out. And I'm going to break it down. These 7 altcoins have the ability to last through any bubble, given their usefulness. These can actually be used by companies, and they have certain technologies and things they do. Okay, and that's what gives them the value, Bill Maher. They're not just made up Easter Bunny cash, right? All right. So let me go back to my article. Just give me a second here. I lost my article. Hey guys, well, you can see right there. I'm going to use my notes. I'm going to go off my notes, but I'm going to leave this up on the screen for a little while. So starting with Ethereum, right? Here's what it does. And On a second. Close that. There we go. All right. Last month, a number of cryptocurrencies have taken a big hit, right? So a lot of people, oh no, maybe I shouldn't have invested in crypto, right? But we're going to talk about Ethereum, Cardano, Litecoin, Chainlink, Stellar Lumens, VeChain, and BitTorrent. And you might remember BitTorrent, people use that for file sharing. You'd get a torrent you download from multiple users when you needed something, right? So let's see. I'm not sure. I'm looking at my monitor. I don't see the scroll happening the way I'm scrolling. Let me check on my share real quick. Remove that. Add to stream. It should be scrolling. I'm going to add it again. Sorry, guys. I want you to see while I'm reading, see what I'm looking at. So let's go to, oh, here we go. I have it up twice. That's why I was doing that. So now you can see my scroll, hopefully. Great. Add to stream. Yes. Okay. Let's see if I can scroll it. Nope. All right. Here we go. Work with me, StreamYard. So the first one that's mentioned is Ethereum. When you look for this coin, it's called ETH-USD. Market cap 391.9 billion. You don't have to worry about what that means right now. There's different market caps, and in a more detailed video, I'll discuss that. But basically, when you compare the different market caps, it lets you know like what its max potential is for going up in value. That's all. Ethereum is the second largest crypto. It has done much better than Bitcoin this year. So if you had, $5,000 and you're like, I want to experiment with crypto, and you just bought Bitcoin with it, or if someone else just bought Ethereum has increased more this year than Bitcoin. And that didn't used to happen. Bitcoin was the leader for a long time. So now we're watching Ethereum start to, catch up to Bitcoin. As of May 14th, Ethereum is up 400% since the beginning of the year. Now, it's not up 400% since it came on the scene. It's up like 10,000%. When Ethereum came on the scene, it was worth pennies, and now it's in the thousands of dollars. I think it's like 24,000 or something. So to give you some perspective, when I personally started to buy Ethereum, it was $800 for one Ethereum coin. And I put some money into that, and then it went all the way up to being worth 4,000, which is more than twice 800, right? Almost 3 times, a little more. So that money that I put in tripled, but then it crashed during this recent crash. It went down to 2,000 again, and now it's like 2,000 and change. It's still higher than the 800 that I spent putting in on it. But if you had bought it when it was at 3,000 because you saw it on the way up and it made it to 4, and you were like, yay, and then it dropped to 2,000, you're like, oh, I lost money. But as long as you didn't sell it, you didn't lose any money yet. It's just still in the market. It's the same as stocks, right? Leave it in, it goes back up, you'll be fine. So Ethereum's blockchain technology seems to be gaining more acceptance. Why? Because it can be used to power tamper-proof decentralized financial contracts and applications. And they mean like an app, like you make an app for a computer or for a phone, right? It's more useful than Bitcoin, which is only a currency and doesn't have any applications. So NFTs, time is a little long. Okay, no problem. So NFTs use Ethereum as a platform technology. So the blockchain technology, and you have to get comfortable with blockchain and what that is, but it's something to do with cryptography and computers and coding and setting up a system where it lives on the internet, where everyone can see a transaction mathematically from thousands and thousands of computers at the same time. So no one can forge it, change it, create fraud, make a counterfeit, because you'd have to change it on all these computers, and you can't. You can only change it on one computer. So this creates something where you can put a contract up, or you can do something where you need it to be very secure. Okay. So NFTs are popular in the sale of digital assets. And NFTs are based on blockchain. And they're based specifically on the Ethereum platform. So Ethereum created a platform that could be used to build things on. One thing that was built was NFTs. Now, we talked about market cap. Bitcoin has a market cap. Ethereum supply has no cap. And the Wall Street Journal pointed out that it's determined by the members of the Ethereum community whether they raise it or not. Bitcoin has a limit of 21 million coins, period. It will never go up. That's what it was created to have, 21 million. As a result, Ethereum can be both a store of value and a medium for exchange. Now, Ethereum is transitioning to Ethereum 2.0. They're going to use words like proof of stake and validate blockchain transactions and all that. If you don't know what all that means, just know that it's a better version that's going to be more efficient, allow for more transactions per second. Let's see, as of April 14th, Ethereum had 598,000 active addresses, whereas Bitcoin has only had 552,000 thus far. So it actually surpassed in April Bitcoin. Ethereum is used in smart contracts, data storage, NFTs, and other blockchain applications. This will be a major factor in giving it long-lasting performance. So there you can look up what companies, do a Google search, use Ethereum, and you'll have a list of these huge companies. And if you trust those companies and you know that they're stable and they're valuable and they're running applications on the Ethereum platform, and you can see like, wow, Ethereum is helping them to make more money because it's useful. So it's not going to go anywhere. So therefore, the coin is going to be valuable. Let's go to the next one, Cardano. It's a crypto that doesn't use mining and a proof of work reward to validate its blockchain transactions. Don't worry if you don't know what all that means yet. But Cardano's system is called Ouroboros. It's based on something called proof of stake validation. And originally, crypto and blockchain used something called proof of work. Now they came up with a new system. If we use proof of stake validation, it will be better, more efficient, more powerful, right? And the people who really understand this, the people Bill Maher referred to as nerds and the computer people, yes, they understand how all this works. And you could too, if you just had 10 hours to watch some YouTube videos, you'd be like, I got all of that. If you majored in computer programming, if you ever did some web development, you could figure that out pretty quickly. But it's not necessary to understand that smarter people than us and people who stake billions of dollars in their companies on using these technologies, they wouldn't be using it. Banks wouldn't be using it. PayPal wouldn't accept it, right? Etsy, Home Depot, all these companies wouldn't accept it if it wasn't valid. But you could look into it and learn about this on your own if you want to. So Cardano, so they're saying things here like Cardano owners can stake their ADA coin. Staking means you put it up for a loan while you're holding it, sitting there in your account. You let other companies or users take it and lend it to people. It gets paid interest to you. And then when you want it back, you take it back out of the loan pool. It's the same as giving a bank a CD. You're letting them use it and invest and make interest, and they're paying you interest. So you can do that with crypto now. So you got, 10 grand in crypto in a certain coin, and that coin is being staked at, let's say, 8%. You're getting 8% interest while you're holding onto that coin. And some coins have as high as 10, 20% interest, way more than what you can get from a bank. So some people put some of their money into those coins just so they can stake them and have interest. So Cardano is one of the coins that allows you to do that. So that makes it more valuable. They provide rewards when you validate a blockchain. Staking doesn't use electricity like crypto mining. So we're talking about that use of electricity and how mining is partially based on dirty energy. Well, staking doesn't use any electricity. So this is the future of blockchain, this article on Investor Place says. Even Ethereum is transitioning to this system within the next year, but Cardano is already doing it now. As the largest proof of stake validation blockchain, this gives Cardano a unique crypto angle. Another use is its peer-to-peer settlement and payment transactions. So the Cardano platform facilitates smart contracts, just like Ethereum, but they do it in a different, more efficient way. And they also facilitate other apps. Nevertheless, Cardano is still looking to book large companies that use its platform. So they're trying to get more companies to use it so people will get more confidence in it. Ethereum already has the name recognition. So lots of big companies are using Ethereum and lots of companies accept Bitcoin. So Cardano's just weaker than it because it hasn't gotten to that level of confidence yet. But the technology that it's using is actually superior to Ethereum right now. It's just people trust Ethereum more. So as time goes by, Cardano will get more trust. So it'll start to take out Ethereum, but then Ethereum will start updating its technology to compete with Cardano. And in 5 or 10 years, people will just go, oh, you know what? This crypto thing is just how the world works now. It wasn't a fad. And that's why I have confidence in it. Cardano was called the Ethereum killer, but whether that will really happen is an open question. At the end of 2020, Cardano was at 17.53 cents. Today, its coins sell at $2.22. So it's 5 times about 20. I'm saying that's 5 times, 10 times. It's between 10 and 15 times its value. So that's huge. Oh, it says it right here. 11.6 times gains in the space of 4.5 months. Wow. So from December 2020 to May 14th, it increased its value 11.66 times. That's why I'm so happy that I had some Cardano before December. So that has increased. What's another one that's going to last? Litecoin. It's a more streamlined alternative than Bitcoin for merchants. It's the first successful alternate currency or altcoin. So you had Bitcoin. I think I said it was Ethereum before, so I was wrong. So the next one was Litecoin. Ethereum came shortly after. So Litecoin, a lighter version, right? Now, it hasn't gained as much. It only went up 130%, not 11 times like Cardano, but it went up 130%. How much did your mutual fund stock portfolio go up in a few months? How much did your real estate property increase? It did increase. I love real estate. I love stocks. But did it go up 130% or 10 or 11%? Or was it a bad year and it went up 6%? For any other type of security, that would be a fantastic return, they say. It's an older coin and people are not as excited about it. It's not one of the new things that just came out that everyone's jumping on. But it will last for a long time after the bubble burst. It will still be around. Because it's used for payments and it allows instant near zero cost payments around the world. So this currency, if you need to send money to another country and you go to your bank to wire money, they charge you fees. Sometimes it's a percent, sometimes it's a set fee, sometimes it's both. And people shop around for where they can wire money for the lowest fee and transfer, maybe bank to bank transfer, online banking. So Litecoin, you can do it for almost zero. Now, if you're just sending $100 and you pay $3 in fees, you might not care. But if you're sending $100,000 and you're paying $3,000 or $7,000 in fees, that's a lot of money. So if you can put that cash into Litecoin, send it to someone, and then they get it, and then you can use that Litecoin to buy things and use it as currency. There was no fees being spent. That's a huge thing. That's, you can see why people are going to want to use Litecoin. Is not going away. So that's what gives it its value, and that's what's going to keep it around. Chainlink, also known as Link, it aims to connect smart contracts with data from the real world. So we have smart contracts, and then we have this new thing called Decentralized Finance, or DeFi. These are apps in the cryptocurrency and blockchain which want to disrupt traditional finance. It was founded in 2017, so it's been strong for 4 years now. If a coin just came on the market, it's only been around 3 months, I really wouldn't risk investing in it. Once a year or two have gone by and it didn't dry up and fold, because you can get some crypto and that company just fails and goes out of business, and that's it. You lost whatever that is. So you got to wait. So 2017, that's not bad. Sergey Nazarov wrote a white paper, yada, yada, with a Cornell professor. These geniuses come up with this stuff, and you just need to know enough to know whether you want to invest in that or not put your money into that, whether it's going to be gone. So what does Chainlink do? It offers a service called an oracle to integrate data. An example is linking finance information from well-known sites into smart contracts. This is the smart contracts concept. This guy, Sergey Nazarov, when he created Chainlink, he was the founder of that concept. Now there's several coins doing it. He believes the decentralized finance market, which is already at 80 billion and is poised for huge growth. So therefore, Chainlink should take off this year. If his thesis about decentralized finance pans out and people go in that direction, it'll improve the value of Link. So Link is already up 250% so far this year. So from January to May, it increased in value 250%. So that's twice as much as Litecoin increased, 130, right? So you might, these are the things you want to look at. Like, well, Litecoin's been around and everyone has confidence in it. Well, I have a certain amount of money. Should I put it in Litecoin? Should I put it in Link? Or should I just stick with Bitcoin? Ethereum? You got to read these things and you have to look at the performance. And just like stocks, just because something went up a lot in the last 4 months, there's no guarantee it's going to continue in the next 4 months. It may start going down. But if you look at its performance over 4 years and you see it goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, but still it's a line going upward. And then you read the articles and you say it's going to remain strong because it came out with this new technology. And Chase Bank is using it. And Stanley Morgan said they're going to accept it. And you start to say like, okay, so this is still strong. So right now, it's still going to probably continue going up. If no news has happened in a year on a coin, it's probably going to be dropping because other coins are coming out. People are getting excited about the news. So you have to just know like what that company's doing. Similar to a stock. You look at Apple. Do they have a new product? Was their last release a dud and nobody liked it? Did they make a business move which forced people to get this adapter because they don't allow you to use anything but their Lightning thing, and they're going to increase by $140 billion next year? Oh, my stock's going to go up. You try to see the decisions they're making and base it on that. So if you've invested in stocks before, if you've played around with an app with stocks, or you have a brokerage or you have a mutual fund, it's not that much different, but the difference is crypto is newer and it's super volatile. So a stock may go up or down 6 or 8% here and there, like during a certain amount of time, whereas a crypto could have went up 70% and then dropped 50% in that same amount of time. So it can make you go, oh my God, I'm rich. Oh, I lost all my money, because it's just volatile. It goes up, down quicker. And people in the crypto space theorize that over the next 10 years, that will start to even out. So the time of extreme highs and then extreme drops, it's going to be less and less and less over time until it starts to kind of flow similarly to stocks. But right now it's in that beginner stage. Another great coin, which I own, I don't own all of these, but I do have Litecoin. I do have Cardano. I do have Ethereum. And I have Stellar Lumens, XLM. So Stellar, I'm not going to talk about the market cap. I don't want to get into that right now, but it's called Lumens and it's up 383% so far this year. So if in January you picked that over Cardano, you'd actually have more money than if you had Cardano or Litecoin, right? 380%. And it's worth looking into it. So let's see what it does and why it's considered a coin that will last. Because there's lots of coins that went up a lot, but they're considered like fly by night. You buy it, you hold it for 2 weeks and you sell it. And you say, oh, it went up a lot and I got out before it crashed. But Stellar's predicted to last long. So let's see why. It says Stellar is a crypto for people who don't have bank accounts. Do you know anyone like that? They go to check cashing places. They ask you to cash their check. They go to a place and wire people money. They pay their bills somewhere like that. They don't have a checking account. So Stellar's goal is to give those people access to financial products. Now, don't just think about New York or California or where you live in the United States or any first world country. Think about people in other countries that are on a poverty level where they don't have a bank account. Those people will actually have financial products now. So it was founded, let's see, by Jed McCaleb in 2014. So it's been around for 7 years now. He also co-founded Ripple, another altcoin. Let's see, it's in the top rank of top 20 cryptos. Okay, but why? Let's see what it does. Okay, Stellar is trying to work with a number of central banks. That means it has potential. It's trying. If it succeeds, it's going to shoot up. So you buy it while they're working on it, right? You buy the rumor and you wait for the news when it goes up in value. So it's working with a number of central banks, including a working relationship with the Central Bank of Ukraine. A number of projects were announced with Deloitte and IBM. I know IBM. In 2016 and 2017. The only difference between Bitcoin and Stellar is that Stellar can't be mined. So there's no proof of work algorithm that has to be solved in order to earn rewards as a XLM or Stellar Lumens holder. Of the total 50 billion lumens, remember there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoins, but there's 50 billion lumens. 20 billion have been sold onto the market so far. The Stellar Development Foundation has the remaining balance. That balance is directed under the, okay. So they're giving you a lot of financial stuff. We're going to skip over that. Recently, Stellar got a boost when Elon Musk put down cryptos that require mining. So remember when I said when all those cryptos crashed, a couple of altcoins went up, and I didn't really know why. And now I'm seeing why in this article. I'm learning it today. I was today years old. The Stellar that I had went up in value, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's the exception. Good. So I was like, that's kind of a good hedge. Now I see why. Because part of the reason it went down is because China banned companies from using crypto in their finance markets. And Elon Musk said he's not going to accept Bitcoins for Tesla, and for the same reason, because the environmental concerns of the use of the amount of electricity to run the computers. And Stellar is not requiring mining. You don't mine Stellar, so it doesn't use electricity like that. So a lot of people wanted Stellar or wanted the different cryptos that don't require mining. So that's interesting. That's why that went up. So let's see. Stellar's proof of stake system, just like one of the others I mentioned, is an alternative to proof of work, where you got to run these programs solving equations to mine the Bitcoins, right? So it uses a smaller number of trusted nodes to validate the transactions, et cetera, and create lumens. This avoids hashing transactions and electricity-intense mining. So that's why Stellar is a good coin and it's doing well. Okay, VeChain is another one. Let's see. VeChain, wow, is up 826% this year as of May 15th. So if you just got into crypto in January 1st, you're like, I don't know, I get some VeChain. Your money that you put, it increased 826%. You put in 1,000, you got $8,000 in there right now. You could sell and take it out. We'll discuss strategies at a later time when we do only crypto. Not just on Tech Talk Tuesdays. But if you do have 8,000 now and you put in 1,000, should you just hold it because it's going to continue going up? Same question for stocks, by the way. Should you sell half of it, take 4,000 out because you're still ahead? And now if you lose some money, you got your 4,000 out. But aren't you going to pay taxes because you sold? Yes, you are. And how much will the taxes be? Depends if it's short-term or long-term capital gains. Now you got to talk to your accountant friends. Now you got to talk to your buddies who sit on the computer all day trading. See, that's what's good about traders. If you have a friend who's a trader, you can get info from them because they buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. They understand about the taxes. They understand what to do to not overpay your taxes, right? Okay. So what does VeChain do? Let's, that gives it its value. Let's see. All right. Oh, wow. So VeChain is a blockchain and cryptocurrency that focuses on improving corporate supply chains and logistics. It helps supply chain management and businesses process. And there are a number of large enterprises using it for inventory tracking. Okay. If you have a big company like Walmart, Walgreens, anything where there's inventory, any sale, right? So you want to track your inventory. They have a technology which makes it cheaper. They have a superior tracking technology. VeChain study in 2020 reported that it can track $300 billion worth of food. So now you got the meat industry, the produce industry, right? Dairy. It can track $300 billion worth of food on the blockchain. Oh, it will be able to by 2027. So it's building. It'll be reaching $300 billion range in 2027. So Walmart has partnered with IBM and created a food trust blockchain with 9 other food companies to track food supplies. So this is something that big companies are doing. So that makes you say if they're doing it and it's helping them increase their profits for their shareholders, then this is a real technology. This is not Easter Bunny monopoly play cash, as Bill Maher was trying to say, right? So a Norwegian classification company called DNV partnered with VeChain, and it provides tracking services for 13,175 vessels and mobile offshore units. Existing VeChain partnerships with large businesses that use VeChain are tracked on their website called vechaininsider.com. So if you want to look that up. There's 5 strategic partnerships, including DNV, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and several Chinese companies. So these companies are using this to track their inventory, and it's helping them be more efficient and make more money. Could it be that other industries or other companies are going to say, hey, I could cheapen my tracking. I could become more efficient, and we'll start doing that? Yes. Does that guarantee this coin will do well? No. Is it very likely that as other companies see the value, it will raise the price of the coin? Yes, that's how cryptocurrency works. Something they do is needed. The more it's used, the higher that crypto goes. I hope you're getting the idea now. It's just talking about a few of them today. And now when you look up an altcoin, you can go to its site and read what it says it does. Then you can go to a website that reviews crypto or reviews finance, right? And you can read what they say, because they'll critique it and tell you what they think. Of course, the company itself is going to present itself in a good light. And then you can see if you like that coin or not. Recently, Decrypt.co wrote about an LA-based vaping company called Puff Bar that used VeChain to track counterfeits. In order to tell whether a vape is a knockoff, this could be any product, users take a picture of the UPC code and product. They upload it to the crypto site, and it can tell if it's a knockoff. So that's another technology. Could that be useful by tons of companies which are losing money to counterfeits and knockoffs? Yes. And even to you as a consumer, you see something, I don't know if this is real. You scan the barcode and it gives you info. That's valuable technology. An interesting facet of VeChain is that it pays a dividend. Another reason it'll be valuable. An offshoot coin called Thor. So if you've heard of Thor, and sometimes these cryptos have silly names, right? And Thor, oh, it's a superhero. But, look at what, don't go by the name being cool, go by what it does. So this Thor token is given to every holder of VET token. So if you have VeChain, and it increases in value, they send dividends by giving you this other coin, VE Thor, and that's a form of paying dividends. It says VeChain has a proof of authority protocol, so it doesn't do proof of work, which is used mining. And it does something that's an offshoot of proof of stake. So we've heard proof of work, proof of stake. Now we're hearing proof of authority. Each time these crypto companies, they're like, let's improve on the technology and make it cost less, and make it use less electricity, make it faster. It'll be a smaller math problem to get this validated, and it'll be a faster transaction. So if one company can do 50 transactions per second, and then another company creates their coin, and they're coders, right? They're geeks, they're nerds, they're programmers, create a new way of coding and a new way of validating that enables them to do 300 transactions per second. That's going to be more efficient. Company's going to stop using that other one and use yours. And then another company comes and says, we can do 10,000 per second, and so on. This is how technology works in general, and it applies to the blockchain. So VeChain has a proof of authority protocol system. I have no idea what that means, but let's hear. This is an offshoot of proof of stake. As a result, its dual token supply structure, it giving you those other Thor coins. The total supply of tokens is slightly inflationary. If you're an economist, you understand that. What slightly inflationary means. As a result, VeChain is here to stay. Look for the token to do very well this year, according to Investor Place. I'm not saying that. I don't own any VeChain. I do own some of the other ones that we talked about. That's interesting. I might look at VeChain and see if I want to pick up a small amount of VeChain. I'm not going to throw thousands of dollars in. Throw $100. Watch it for a few months, then decide if I want to put more. Okay, so another altcoin, and the last one of this video, is Bittorrent. If you remember, Bittorrent was the file sharing protocol, right? So now they've created a coin, and they're using that, the same company, they're using that name recognition to name their crypto. So you can get Bitcoin crypto. Now, from January to today, or to May 15th, when this article came out, Bittorrent is up 1,600%. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you bought $1,000 in Bittorrent to just see what would happen in January 1st, today it would be worth $16,000. Check my math. If I'm not a math teacher, but check my math. I think that's what 1,600% means since the beginning of the year. Okay, but then it crashed with all the other ones. It went up to 1,600, and then last week they've all crashed. If we looked it up right now, it might be 800, because most of them, Bitcoin, Ethereum, most altcoins dropped right now they're at a level of about half of what they were on, that high that they were on a couple of weeks ago. So they believe that BitTorrent is going to do well. Let's see why. Okay. They talk about who founded it. It was started by this guy, Bram Cohen. It was sold to Tron, another company with a cute name. This is what it does. The platform seeks to enhance the user's ability to distribute large electronic files using a decentralized protocol. Okay. So initially, illegal movie and related media. Oh, people used to like bootleg movies and music, right? Using BitTorrent to download on a decentralized basis. So what BitTorrent used to do was kind of the precursor to Bitcoin. And when MP3s were first shared online and all these technologies, these were all stepping stones building away, because the point was to be decentralized. Anyone can get music for free. Anyone can just watch videos. Nobody can control who gets it. You can't have it. You have to pay, go behind this paywall, right? People felt music should be free, movies should be free, and whether or not it should, and how the artist gets paid, or does that devalue art? That's another ethical discussion. But those things led to people wanting to decentralize currencies, right? So recently, BitTorrent received licenses from a number of film studios to distribute their content. So they're out of the free sharing and bootlegging illegal movies downloads business, and now they're getting licenses from film studios and they're distributing movies that way. And this makes that same company's cryptocurrency valuable, because it's created by a company that does something else, right? Bitcoin was added to a new exchange, Polynix, allowing it to be staked by validators. Staked by validators, right? Something that they're doing that we don't totally understand the technology behind, just like we don't understand what Morgan Stanley and Chase and TD Bank are doing. But we know that their financial institutions are doing something that's helping them make money. Let's see. So they feel that BitTorrent will do well. BitTorrent technology and Tron are both peer-to-peer decentralized protocols. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole, look that up. What's a decentralized protocol? What's a peer-to-peer? Well, we know peer-to-peer. That's like what they were doing, transferring the files and the movies, right? Okay. So we can almost understand it. We know enough to understand this. BitTorrent uses the Tron blockchain network to function as a cryptocurrency. The token is called BTT. Most other altcoins use the Ethereum protocol, but they don't. They use Tron blockchain. So that's interesting. Okay, they have BitTorrent based in San Francisco. Oh, it's an American company. Sometimes you want to know what country this coin or company comes from. If it's a country that has a lot of fly-by-night companies, you might not have trust in it. Or you might want to know, there's an office. I could go down the street and see these people. They're in Manhattan. They're in San Francisco. They're in LA. They're not in, so if you're in the United States, that means something to you. You don't know it's like halfway around the world. Something could happen and you can't reach them and they're not going to be accountable to you. All right. Even if they're in Manhattan, what are you going to do? You're going to go to their office. You're going to get past security, knock on the door. Hey, my Bitcoin went down. You guys are fraud. You still can't do anything, but it could feel better that it's an American company if you value that. All right. So these are just some altcoins that can last. I wanted to give you guys comfort in understanding how the whole Bitcoin world works, what it's about, and what is backing some altcoins. Again, certain coins like Dogecoin have no value. Some good info. Yeah, man, thanks. Thank you. I appreciate you guys in the live chat. And current events influence the market, stock market. Oh, crypto or stock. That's true. Current events and news of something happening in that company. So if a company even says it's working on, it's creating a technology that in the next couple of years will allow, what's that company? Walmart or Costco to track its data, its inventory more efficiently. You're like, okay, they're working on it. Then half a year later, they say we're now entering in a contract with Costco. I'm just making that up. So you go, okay, that's a company that I have confidence in. Costco thrived during the pandemic because they were a source of essentials, right? So that company's strong, and then they're going to use this company's technology, and then Costco is going to make more money and do better and grow because of the technologies. That means that technology is valuable. So then that company is also valuable. So yeah, I hope you guys found some value of this. I'm going to check for questions, comments, anything in the chat. Even if you're not watching this live and you want to throw in a question, I can just respond to it next week at the top of the show, the same way I replied to the comments from last week, this week. So this has been the Cybersky Live, a new segment. This is number 2. Thank you for joining Cybersky Live. This is Tech Talk Tuesdays. I will also be doing some health talks where we just talk about nutrition, health, fitness, supplements, foods you can eat to gain certain things in your own personal fitness and nutritional goals, workouts, martial arts, things like that, all part of the health talks. And I think I'm going to do health talks on Thursday, but I'm not totally ready to do that yet. And I'm going to start having guests coming on in the next week or so, both on Tech Talk to get some experts or some people doing some things like technology, maybe some financial people, to give you guys a more interesting experience and also give you more value. If you found any value, if you learned anything at all today, found it interesting, or perhaps you knew most of this stuff already, but you can now send this video to explain it to some friends. Please like the video, add your thoughts, questions, and future topics you'd like us to discuss in the comments. Subscribe for more content, but please keep sharing with friends so we can keep going. We're at 262 subscribers. Our goal is to get to 300 shortly, and then our long-term goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of the year. Stay positive. Remember, the best revenge is success. Stay financially and physically healthy, my friends. And as always, stay blessed. And click one of these videos here if you missed them. You might find it entertaining or useful. Welcome to the Cybersky. Let's learn